The ultrasound screen flickered with life. A faint, rhythmic heartbeat filling the room like a fragile secret. My wife, Emma, lay on the table, her hand gripping mine, a soft smile trembling on her lips. But behind her eyes, I saw something that wasn't joy. I stared at the blurry image on the monitor, trying to make sense of it, of her silence. When she spoke, her voice barely a whisper. "It's Michael's baby." The words hit like a blade of ice. For a second, I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Even the hum of the fluorescent lights seemed deafening. "Michael," I repeated numbly. "As in your ex, Michael?" She nodded quickly, eyes darting away. "He and his wife can't have kids," she said. I'm helping them." Helping them. The phrase hung in the air, thick and suffocating. 2 months earlier, she'd begun to change, distracted, restless. Late nights spent reading on the couch while her phone glowed faintly in her lap. She said she was just exhausted, overwhelmed, her hormones out of balance from our fertility treatments. We'd been trying for nearly a year. I thought she was grieving the empty nursery upstairs. But then came the appointments, just checkups, she'd said. A friend connected me with a clinic. A friend. That word had sounded harmless then. Now it felt poisonous. Back in the room, the doctor excused himself, quietly sensing the tension. When the door clicked shut, I turned to her. "You're carrying your ex's child," I said, each word scraping my throat raw. Without telling me, without asking. Tears filled her eyes. "It's not what you think, Nate." They were desperate. He begged me. I just wanted to help. Help. I snapped, standing so fast the chair screeched across the floor. By getting pregnant? By lying? She clutched the thin sheet around her like a shield. "You wouldn't have understood," she whispered. "You're right," I said quietly, "because I don't understand any of this." The faint heartbeat from the machine still pulsed in the silence, cruel and mocking. At home, the quiet was unbearable. The late sunlight stretched across the kitchen floor as I poured a drink, then another. She sat across from me, picking at her nails. "When were you planning to tell me?" I finally asked. "I was going to," she murmured, "after the first trimester, once it was safe." I laughed bitterly. "Safe? I didn't cheat, Nate." I met her eyes. "You didn't." Her chin lifted, fragile but defiant. It was IVF. Clinical. There was nothing emotional, but her eyes betrayed her. A flicker of guilt, of something softer. The nights that followed were sleepless. The house still smelled like her, that faint citrus lotion that used to comfort me but now made me sick. Every time she touched her stomach, I felt something inside me twist. I found myself scrolling through old photos. Emma at the lake, laughing, her head resting on my shoulder. Then I stopped on one, a Christmas party 3 years ago. Michael stood too close behind her. His hand brushed her back. She wore the same small, secret smile she has now whenever she says his name. It wasn't just guilt. It was affection. A week later, she was glowing, radiant, alive in a way that didn't include me. Every night, I felt her drifting further away. So I did the only thing I could. I took back control of what was left, our embryos. Logging into Fertility Clinic's portal, I found them. 3 frozen embryos labeled Miller/Nate and Emma. 3 possible futures. 3 versions of the life we were supposed to have. My cursor hovered over the option, withdraw/freeze access. And I clicked it, locked it all. Every dream sealed under my name alone. The next morning, she noticed my silence. "You're scaring me," she whispered. "You wanted to help your ex start a family?" I said evenly, "Fine, but ours stays frozen." Her face went pale. "Nate, you didn't." "I did," I said, my tone flat. "Until I understand what's really going on." Tears filled her eyes, but I didn't waver. Days blurred together. Her belly grew. My resentment deepened. We barely spoke. Then one night, she finally broke. "He needed me," she whispered. After his wife's miscarriage, he called, said I was the only one he could trust. Her voice trembled. I couldn't say no, not after what they'd been through. I thought, Maybe this was my way to do something good, to make something right. Redeem what? I asked softly. She said nothing, and that silence told me everything. She wasn't just helping him. She still loved him. That night, a storm rolled in. Rain lashed against the windows. I sat on the edge of our bed, watching her sleep, one hand resting protectively over her stomach. I felt grief and something close to pity. Then, slowly, a strange calm settled over me, because I finally understood what betrayal really was. Not just cheating, but giving devotion to someone who no longer deserved it. A month later, she came home from a checkup, eyes red, hands trembling. They changed the birth plan, she said quietly. Michael's wife wants to be in the delivery room. I stared at her. And you? She hesitated. I said yes. I nodded once. Of course you did. Nate, please. But I was already walking to the freezer, the one where we'd taped the clinic's photos. Our embryos. I tore them down. What are you doing? She cried. Freezing, I said flatly. Then I dropped the photos into the trash. When she went into labor, I didn't go. She didn't ask me to. That night, I sat alone in the nursery, the pale blue walls still bare, the crib collecting dust. Around midnight, my phone buzzed. He's here. Healthy. No name. No warmth. Just that. I turned the phone face down. Weeks passed. She came home thinner, hollow-eyed, as if something vital had been taken from her. They named him Aaron, she said softly one evening, sitting across from me at the kitchen table, after my grandfather. I didn't reply. You hate me, don't you? She whispered. I looked at her. No, Emma, I don't hate you. She exhaled, a flicker of hope crossing her face. I leaned forward. But I'll never forgive you. Her face crumpled. Later that night, I stood once more before the fertility clinic's frosted glass doors, my reflection pale and shaking. 3 embryos, 3 unborn lives. I could destroy them, or keep them frozen, suspended like the moment everything fell apart. I swiped the access card. The cold air of the cryogenic vault brushed my face. Some things, I whispered, aren't meant to be born. And then I turned away, leaving our future and our love frozen.